Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Toys R Us's official US comeback. Got a lot to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. All right, so this article is directly from Bloomberg, and back in May, I actually reported on this, letting everybody know, hey, it looks like Toys R Us is making a U.S. comeback, and that they were going to be doing smaller stores, and it looks like the rumor is officially true, that yes, they are making a comeback. Directly from Bloomberg, it says here that Toys R Us, back from the dead, will open U.S. stores in 2019. Maybe American kids will only have to live through one Christmas without Toys R Us. After a year after shuttering U.S. operations, the remnant of the defunct toy chain is set to open and return this holiday season by opening about a half dozen U.S. stores and an e-commerce site, according to people familiar with the matter. And this is Richard Barry, who is a former Toys R Us executive, which that kind of makes me raise a little eyebrow a little here, is now the CEO of the entity True Kids Incorporated. He's been pitching this vision to reincarnate the chain to toy makers, including an industry conference this week. Says the stores are slated to be about 10,000 square feet, roughly a third of the size of the brand's big box outlets that closed last year. So the stores are going to be a lot smaller, and that's probably just because they have to work on, you know, the little bit of space that they've got just to try and make it and back it into the market. Locations will have more experiences like play areas. So this is something that I want to talk about is that, you know, Michael Mercy, you know, he has still has Toys R Us's in Canada. Anybody who's in Canada still has Toys R Us's there. And there are a couple other countries, I think, that still have Toys R Us's. But here in the US, we don't. And he said that they upped their game, that they like made a whole bunch of cool like features and stuff like that. So it looks like that's what they're going to be doing here in the US, is that they're going to be making some like areas where kids are going to be able to play with toys. That's really cool. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of FAO Schwarz. In Manhattan, there is in Midtown, there is I don't know if it's still there, but FAO Schwarz was basically like had like all this different like specialty areas for like the toys that they sold. So like, you know, of course, if you saw the movie Big growing up in the 80s, you guys probably remember the piano scene where you know, Tom Hanks and you know, is playing, you know, on the big giant piano. That was a staple for that. So it looks like they might be doing something like that. That would be really cool. And he says it remains to see how much of a boost the retailer's comeback will provide the toy industry, including giants like Hasbro and Mattel. And that's the thing, is that like if you go to Target, or if you go to Walmart, you know, you find these like rinky-dink, in my opinion, I think that they're just absolutely tiny when it comes down to toy departments. You can never really find what you're looking for, especially my local Walmart. My local Walmart is the worst when it comes down to Transformers toys. There is about 2 rows of Transformers. They don't have BotBots. They never stock G1 reissues. There's sometimes some Cyberverse stuff, plenty of studio series that clog the shelves, and so a lot of times it's always empty. It's always empty. You never find anything. And I've asked the people there, they say, we don't care. They literally told me that they don't care. So Walmart, you suck. Every single Walmart that I've ever been to, it just feels like garbage when it comes down to it. So I think Toys R Us making a comeback would be amazing, would be awesome. And here it's even saying like that Walmart, Target, and Amazon have swooped in to fill the void. Well, not really. I mean, Target, you know, has a bigger toy department than Walmart does, at least you know, the Targets I've been to. And Amazon, it's like, you know, now it's, I don't know, it's just something not about buying things online just doesn't feel the same. You know, going into a store, I used to miss, like, you'd hit like 4 or 5 stores up, even the specialty stores. You'd go to, like, I used to have a comic book store that I would go to. It's about a half hour away, and it would have like a whole comic book section where you could buy comic books, you know, any Marvel Legends or loose Transformers he'd have behind a glass case, and you'd find all that stuff in his store. He had a huge store until he just decided to, like, well, I'm just going to pursue music. So he closed down his store. And, you know, that's just something sad that, like, we miss in my area anyway. And so, like, having Toys R Us making a comeback is a great thing. And, but, you know, at the same time, I'm wondering where they're going to open up, because it says it's about a half dozen or maybe 6 small Toys R Us stores. And then they're going to probably see where they expand beyond that, you know. And as to where, like, I don't know where anybody's going to see a Toys R Us. I mean, I'm sure that where I live, it's probably one of the busier areas. We might see a Toys R Us making a comeback that way, but we'll see where they go. But I want to know what you guys think. You know, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. You know, what do you think about all this Toys R Us news? I've got lots more Transformers stuff coming down the pipeline, as well as stuff on my secondary channel, Rodimus Primal Talks. If you could, check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you want, become one of my patrons and help support the channel. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.